Okay, so we're gonna be doing Scorpio now. I know I'm late, but I'm trying to do lives now so I can be more faster for you guys. So it's gonna be the Scorpio forecast for the month for the rest of the month of August, and I'm gonna see what I pick up, what is there to come. So just to let you know, if you would like to get a personal reading by me, I'll leave that in the description. And if you would like to get a free reading by a group that I host once a month. You can get a free reading by the Psychic Practice Group. I'll leave all that information below if you would like to participate. So let's see, Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio for the month of August? Okay. Hmm. Okay, so okay, so some of you guys are going through some sort of heartbreak, or you're just being highly emotional at the very moment. I feel like there's a lot of like, what if I did this? What if I would have done this way? Or what if I should have, or what if I made that type of decision or the other decision? Like there's a lot of what if sort of conversations in your head that you keep thinking about your past decisions. There's a lot of nostalgic thoughts as well. It could be because of a certain person, like there's some sort of heartbreak, but it could also be that there's a heartbreak due to either certain family members in your life or people that you consider like family, friends, and that's causing you sort of like a heartbreak and a feeling of a lot of emotion within yourself. And in the outer world, you can be very serious and put together, but I feel like your inner world is actually very paranoid right now about the world for some reason. Like I keep seeing like you thinking about as well, like what's gonna happen in the world, like thinking about like in general, like oh, what's gonna happen to the country, like what's gonna happen to this and that, like in a very collective way about thinking about life in the world and what's gonna happen, like the future of the country. I see very much in this in your head like way too much, you know? You think with a lot of affection about an experience in the past. At the same time, you're trying to really stay very close to God. And you're also thinking about how whatever issue you're having with a specific person, you're thinking about like how did this even happen? Like how did we end up here? How did this even like you're thinking about how you guys even met or how the drama started or something like that. The unexpectedness of the situation. So right now, I feel like your mind is full of like emotional fear, like emotional fear. I feel like there's a need of speaking about it, but yet, I feel like you don't even know how to put it in words. So you might even feel stagnant in your own heart and mind. Um, and you might be kind of like constantly going in your head about something in the past, and then you're reliving it again and feeling those feelings from the past again. So I feel like there's trauma or PTSD sort of. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but there's like re-traumatizing yourself and having these feelings again, like and then thinking about it and then feeling all those emotions like it's happening again. So there's a lot of that going on. I also feel like while you are like, I feel like you're really trying to maintain your posture. You're trying to really appear like everything's fine, everything's cool, and you're trying to hide. You're kind of like trying to, you are kind of hiding yourself, but you can. And I feel like you should because I feel like, wherever you work at or wherever you spend a lot of time at to make your money, I feel like there's a lot of weird vibes, people who have a lot of negative energy who will actually feed off seeing you down. So I feel like you should hide what you're going through, and I see why you would be a bit paranoid as well. Um, it just feels like a very unhealthy environment, and you know it. And there could be also like undermining behavior that's been going on, like even before this phase that you're going through. Um, so you might feel like you don't even know who to really speak to. Um, you seem to not feel like you can trust nobody, and that can feel very exhausting. I do feel like you need to protect yourself. I feel like you need to protect yourself spiritually, but also like on what you say to put to people because they can be with you for one day and being all lovey and supportive one day, but the next day they can be changeable. And I feel too like sometimes like some people maybe can be like cool with you, but also cool with your enemies. So they could be friends with your enemies or something like that. So, and then they say your business. So I do feel like, like if you resonate with what I'm saying, then yeah, like try to keep your things to yourself or try to maybe speak to a therapist or someone that has no connection to like places that you're very close to, like your work or a setting where there's other people around. Um, I also see a lot of like nightmares. You've probably been having a lot of nightmares. You haven't been really sleeping well. You wake up. If you haven't had nightmares, like you could have either have both of these symptoms that I'm telling you, like yeah, nightmares, but also waking up in the middle of the night and interrupting your sleep, or either one. So I feel like it's due because you have a lot of evil eye around your aura, and it's heavily, you're carrying it, like your aura is carrying it in your daily basis. So I do see here that you need to clean that out. Like you need to release all of that out by doing some sort of spiritual or praying or being aware of it and asking the universe to clean it out, whatever you believe in, but you do need to clear that energy off. And for those who I feel like okay, so I don't really like to go deep. So if you've been seeing my content, if you've been seeing like my readings or you got in my readings like here in YouTube, then I don't like to get deep into the love stuff because I feel like people are really sensitive to those topics and I don't want to give you confusing information or doubts. I feel like when it's love, I feel like it's something very delicate and it should be more personal, like a personal reading. But to just go to the not so deep to it, I do feel here that some of you guys are going through a heartbreak. Like you guys are like literally going through a heartbreak, and some of you guys are like single and are trying to date, but like you feel extremely nervous and a bit resistant about it because you're still very much wounded by the past. Like there's still trauma there, you're still trying to heal at the same time. So it's kind of like you feel a bit scattered in your feelings of how to go about it. And there's a lot of anxiety about it. Maybe you've been single for a long time and you're realizing that you kind of block yourself, you know? Um, I do feel like there is like love coming in for you. There's definitely love coming in for you. But you're for the single ones, I feel like there can be some sort of fear, like you're fear, you're hurtful, you feel like, oh my God, like paranoid about it as well. And for those who are going through a heartbreak, this could really trigger a lot of mental, I wouldn't say mental, if you already have like, your own mental issues, like I feel like it's just expanding it for some reason. Um, and yeah, like seeing some sort of professional will really help. And for some, like I feel like it's just heartbreak of like you could be very sad about maybe some sort of family dynamic that you can't seem to really understand, like why are things like this or why are they like this? There can be a sense of feeling like needing to step away, like you need to step away. I definitely feel like there's some sort of scandal going on. You're also a bit worried, yet you're still moving forward. You might be feeling either unloved by your family or you feeling unloved in general. Like you just feel unlovable, you feel ignored, you feel like an outcast. You might feel like it's you yourself, it's like you yourself against the world sort of thing. So there's a lot of like you trying to be alone, which is also like I see here like it's not the healthiest either to like spend so much time, by yourself. I feel like it's not healthy because humans are meant to build connection. So I do feel like talk to someone like a friend or someone that you really trust, at least to hang out, get some fresh air. But there could be a lot of trauma about maybe betrayal. You might feel like you just want to hide. Um, you also might feel like someone at work is making your job more difficult than it's supposed to be. So maybe people are putting like a bit of like traps or like putting rocks in your path. Like it's just very weird vibes. And you might feel like you can't really work comfortably or that they're giving you a hard time on purpose. You might feel like, oh my God, I got no other option but to stay here and make things work out. Um, I feel like, you're actually very intuitive, like effortlessly. And I feel like you know exactly what you're supposed to do, who you should connect and who you shouldn't. Um, but I feel like at the same time, since you're so pretty much psychic, you're very like in tune. I feel like you get to see you get to see through people so fast that it overwhelms you, like overwhelm of psychic energy or psychic information. And it's like it makes you very anxious and it sort of makes you want to push people away from what I'm seeing as well. There's a lot of like being bombarded by a lot of psychic. It's like you're some sort of sponge, like you're bombarded by a lot of psychic energy. So I feel like you're carrying other people's information too. So Like, you need to be careful about your environment because you or the type of environments you're in because you actually do soak up like you are like a sponge and all that psychic you get psychic information even if you're not asking for it and you can see through people real quick and that can be like very overwhelming and you don't even know like it makes you really anxious from what I'm seeing. So I feel like you need to clear yourself. I do feel like you need some tools in order to navigate through the world because of this. And it does make you very like you don't trust people like that. Okay, so let me see this. Let's see. Okay, so okay, so okay, so the first card that we have is the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Devil card. Wait, is this upright or yeah? We have the Devil card and we have the World reverse. Yeah, for some of you guys are a very going through some sort of relationship toxicity that is really taking a toll on your mental health, like very much. You might feel like you're unable to escape from it. Like, is this like you might feel very bounded to it. For some, I feel like you might feel very bounded to some sort of connection in your family. And I feel like there's a lot of you feeling very confused about your direction in life and how you're doing because a lot of random things are just being thrown at to you. Um, you're definitely being a homebody right now with the Queen of Cups, and um, I do feel like you're being presented in the world. You're being presented in the world well kept, and by that I mean like well groomed. You're presenting yourself like that. And also you're presenting yourself with a lot of emotional maturity at first glance or at first meeting, but there's a lot of other things going on behind. Um, you're really trying to ground yourself, you're trying to have control of your emotions, and I feel like you're really close to your spirituality right now because of this chaos the chaos that is happening. So you're trying to be really close to God or whatever you believe in a spiritual level. And I do feel like that does help you. Like it does change your energy and it does change your mood as well. It helps you. And it does help you guide yourself. Like it does help you, it helps you make the correct decision, or at least it does something, But I do see that, you are taking the correct steps, but I also feel here like, it's not easy and it's okay to say like, it's not easy. This is not easy. Because there's something here toxic in your life that is making you feel like some sort of power struggle, or it makes you feel like it makes you it makes you kind of like bring this toxic side of you, like unconscious habits of you that you don't like about yourself, and that can even mean like bringing out the addictive side of you, the like, and by that I mean, like, for example, like spending way too much money impulsively just so you can feel better about yourself, and then you feel bad, or like smoking or drinking, like, and this, I feel like there's some sort of partnership or some sort of connection that you don't feel 100% trusting in each other in regards to, your love life. Or there's something about you not feeling 100% like safe in your family environment, and um, is making you feel like you're not really sure where to position them or how to go about it with them. And so, yeah, I feel you very ungrounded because you're trying to make peace with someone who doesn't want to make peace. So then it kind of makes you go do like a bunch of puzzle making things in your head. You're not gonna get to the point of it because you're trying to make peace with someone who doesn't want to make peace. So it leaves you very ungrounded, scattered, dreamy, and then you feel very stuck in your thoughts. And it's really hard to pull yourself out because, you just can't. If someone is not willing to see your way as well or come into a certain balance or understanding, then it's gonna be really hard, and then you're over here trying to solve puzzles and pretty much do a bunch of um finding a way in your head, like, oh, how can I make this work, how can I make this work, and then when you don't find no solution in your head, then you feel very ungrounded and you feel scattered, and then you feel stuck in your thoughts, and then you start feeling doubtful only because you haven't found the solution, and maybe the solution is simple, it's just that you are having a hard time seeing the reality of it. um I also feel like you're not really finishing what you start right now. Like, you're going very slow because of your mind. And there's a lot of doubt and sadness. You do need to focus on your career and your money. If you've been thinking about that, you should be focusing on that. Um, and I feel like right now, like, your main priority for the month of August, for the rest of August, should be your money and your job. Um, paying any bills or debts that you're having is something that is really needing to be focused on, because this debt or bill or whatever that you owe, or your money goal, is kind of like, in a way, it's like it's that step to really progress in the right direction of what you need to do. Hmm. Oh yeah, six of swords. Okay, page, mind games. Um, you might be consumed in your head because you want to make things work, but sometimes you can with someone that doesn't is not like in the same frequency as you. They're not thinking the same like you, like, okay, like, I'm gonna find a solution too. They're just not. They want their way, and that's how it is. Ego, all right, see what you want. Oh, okay, so okay, so someone is jealous and wants to be the fairest, the sexiest, and the most successful one in the land. What? Okay, so never mirror, mirror, spell, return to sender. I feel like there's a lot of people who are jealous of you, of how you are or how you put yourself together, or they're jealous of your light. I feel like that they don't they will not be affecting you because you're aware of it, you're not a fool. Someone is doing spell work to stop you from traveling or moving ahead. Someone, or what I was talking about before, I feel like someone's really messing up with your mental health, and that's messing up like your progress or your plans that you have in your mind that you want for yourself, and that's making you slow down. So I feel like this is why this card is coming in about like someone's doing spell work to stop you from traveling or moving ahead. I feel like there's some sort of person who can be putting like rocks or something. And it could also be like your own enemies, like people who hate on you. So yeah, keep your things to yourself. You know who you should trust and you know who you shouldn't, and you know what to say and who you shouldn't. And I feel like you kind of like know who's good and who's bad, like really fast. So yeah, be cautious of how much you say for sure. But I feel like a lot of you guys know this. Let me see. Okay, so I feel like too, like you guys are needing to get some sunlight. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time at home or wanting to be by yourself at home. So make sure you're getting some sunlight, and then someone is doing spell work to change your fortune and bring you about luck. Hmm. Okay, so I feel like there's people who are just putting like crossing spells. So I feel like reading this in a psychic level and reading at the oracle card, I feel like there's people who just don't want you to succeed. So make sure you are doing if you do pray or anything, make sure you're doing uncrossing, maybe removing rocks in your path, or praying something about removing any things that are blocking you from doing your goals. And for this one, I feel like I said, like you need to go out a bit, you need to get some sunshine, or there's a lack of vitamin D, or there's something in regards to your vitamins that are off. And for this one, for someone is trying to access your Akashic records, to tap into your gifts, I feel like for this card, which is it says Akashic records entry, I feel like people want to know, like they sense that there's something going on, and they're trying to read you without your consent. And it can mean like in a psychic level, but it could also mean like in general, like trying to look over all your information or trying to see who you really are, like all that type of stuff. So for August, I feel like in general, your main focus definitely, Scorpio, should be your money, your finances, and your career. And if you do have any debt or you owe money, then that should be your main priority. And really like taking care of your mental health is something that I already see that you're doing, but continue doing. And speaking to someone you trust that's going to give you a logical advice and practical advice is something you definitely need around. So finding maybe someone that you can speak to will be very helpful. And if you are lacking vitamins or something, go do that blood work or take that vitamin D. Maybe you're not being consistent with it, but take your supplements, your vitamin D, or go outside, get some sun, and stay prayed up, which I do see that a lot of you guys are doing. So definitely do that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you resonate with anything that I said, then I would love to hear your stories below in the comments. Thank you.